What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight as the road to SummerSlam begins. Let's see if the ratings can go up this week for Monday Night Raw. But we do kick off the show with Randy Orton coming out there. Of course, they have a video package of what he did last week, the Big Show, and how he's been kicking everybody's heads off lately. But as Orton was in the ring, he started to cut a promo talking about he's gone by many names, being in the WWE for over 20 years now. From the Legend Killer to the Viper to the Apex Predator, and how he's been in different factions of Evolution and Rated RKO and Legacy, and talked about how, Stone Cold and The Rock couldn't even hold a candle to him from his longevity, consistency, and title reigns. But as Orton went on to talk about that, he said there's something missing right now, and he figured out this morning that he desired to be the WWE Champion once again. So, since he wants to be the WWE Champion again, he called out Drew McIntyre and talked about how, we can go through resumes, but it wouldn't be that long of a conversation. And talked about how, Drew talked about he was the chosen one from over 10 years ago, but look what happened. He had his head shoved up so far up his ass that he was fired. But he talked about how Drew McIntyre came back to the WWE and clawed his way through NXT just to get back to the top. And talk about he's earned his respect by beating Brock Lesnar really quick at WrestleMania. But Orton pretty much looked in the camera and he talked about that, told McIntyre, I got a problem. And you're the problem right now. And you got something I want. So, the title match at SummerSlam. So, I guess he demanded it and he wants it to happen there. I believe that should be the main event. That's the only main event match that, right off the bat of this card, that sounds like a main event match between Orton and Drew McIntyre. I'll say that. It's better than seeing Drew versus Ziggler again, which we'll get on to later on tonight. But Orton versus Drew, yes. Let me just say, Randy Orton cut another great promo out there. Like I said, Randy Orton's just been on a roll lately, okay? Some say he's just doing some of the best work of his career right now, which has been amazing, to be honest, okay? Like I said, when you motivate Orton, you get something great out of him. So, Orton in his promo and laying down the challenge for SummerSlam, I like it. But as Orton was leaving, Nia Jax came out. We haven't seen her in a minute. And, talked about how, she wanted to be champion also, just as Orton said. But there's been a lot in her way from referees and Charlotte. But where is Charlotte right now? Huh? She's not here. And since Charlotte isn't here, as Jax went on, pretty much saying no one could really stop her right now. But next thing you know, Shayna Baszler's music hits, and Shayna Baszler came out and talked about Nia Jax then right after. Pretty much talking about that she did not deserve anything, and I guess she needs a dose of reality since they're using that line. She's like the reality check of what's going on in WWE right now. And both of them had a stare down for a second. Next thing you know, they started brawling with each other then right after. Because basically Bayley said nobody gives a damn what you want. And as they brawled, the referees came out and stopped it. So it was going to be a match later on. And, I'm sitting here wondering, and we'll get more in this match later on. I can see what's going to happen here. And it wasn't a bad segment, but then again, does anybody really want to see Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler? We get that on later on tonight. Next, the Street Profits came out to announce this triple threat tag team match. Whoever wins this will face them at SummerSlam for the titles from the Viking Raiders to Almas and Garza and Cedric and Ricochet, which I guess they went on to say that the Vikings, if they were on Wakanda, they would have been able to stop Thanos using the Infinity Gauntlet before turning everybody into dust. Highly doubt that, because there was a lot of strong people that fought Thanos in Infinity War, and look what happened. But, they pretty much talked about from the Viking Prophets and Telenovela, and talked about how, Charlie does not want Garza there and going for she wants to raid with the Vikings and whatnot. Basically, all three teams are out there then. They, Almas and Garza jumped everybody, knocked them out of the ring, having a stare down with the Prophets. But as this match went on, this was kind of, listen, it wasn't a bad match, but it was kind of predictable when you think about it because, let's see, number one, we've seen enough of the Vikings and the Street Profits having Double Dare 2000 challenges with each other for almost over a month or two. We've already got through that. Cedric and Ricochet mostly lose a lot of the time, so I kind of figured they'd be taking a pinfall in this match. So the obvious choice was going to be Garza and Almas there, so I don't see what could have been different from all this. I honestly don't. So this was very predictable, and Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler, which I can't even call this much of a match. This basically was a brawl, and it ended in double countout with both women. Nothing really happened here other than security coming out there trying to break it up, but that both women beat up security, even choked them out and threw them out of there. Jax actually kind of got the upper hand, knocking Baszler off of the apron. I feel like this is going to be a match at SummerSlam for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be a match at SummerSlam, or both of these women are going to fight for a title shot or whatnot, which we don't even need to be giving Nia Jax another title shot and give that one to Baszler, so I would expect that to happen. But I feel like both of these two women are going to face each other at SummerSlam, but all they really did was kind of knock the heck out of each other out here, and that was basically it. So it was just a brawl. Some people think that Nia Jax should just put over Shayna Baszler, but I don't know what the company is thinking right now when it comes to this. But then again, they like Nia Jax, so there's some reason they keep pushing her. I have no idea why, but they keep doing it. But right after, we got Seth Rollins, who was talking to Murphy backstage, and Murphy says, "Are you sure about this?" Because Murphy said, what do you think Dominic is going to do when he shows up tonight? Rollins says, listen, he can't get it his own way, so we're going to do this for the greater good. And tonight will be different. And he told Murphy to trust him. Seth and Murphy came out then as Rollins talked about Rey Mysterio at Extreme Rules and what happened to Aleister Black last week, and talked about Dominic and you know, Dominic Mysterio. He's in the building, and he's planning to confront me tonight, as he said. But Rollins says that whenever the greater good takes 2 steps forward, someone always tries to take 2 steps back and force him there. And we've had to hurt people in several ways. Didn't want to, but talk about Kevin Owens stood in his way, and look what happened to his ankle. Talk Rey Mysterio, look what happened to his eye. Aleister Black continues to get involved. Look what happened to his arm. And Rollins pretty much says, you know, I don't want to be the person to hurt people, but you guys keep just bringing this upon yourselves. And the last time Dominic showed up, he got attacked and he ended up getting hurt. And he's got a soft spot for the Mysterio family, but he wanted to invite Dominic to the ring to hash things out. But as Dominic came out walking slowly, Rollins says, listen, no one's going to hurt you, okay? Dominic ended up getting in the ring. He pretty much tackled Seth to the ground, attacking him, trying to fight off him and Murphy. But Rollins and Murphy got the upper hand, beating him, throwing him around into the barricade and whatnot. And they were going to do to his eye and everything, and told everybody, this is not my fault. This is not my fault. But before they could do the whole eye thing with the steel steps, next thing you know, Aleister Black came from out of nowhere and attacked both Rollins and Murphy. But as he fought them off, they ended up they took his bad arm out again. And, you know, as they, beat him up, they pretty much curb stomped him right there. And pretty much Rollins told Murphy, you have to do this, okay? Put your head into, do it. And Murphy's like, me? He says, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Do this for the greater good. Do this for the greater good. Which we've seen Murphy almost doubt Seth several times now. That should he still even believe and even follow him, pretty much almost questioning him a couple times. But of course, they have Murphy end up taking Aleister Black and shoving his eye into the steps. I almost thought we were going to have someone else's eye fall out of their head this time. So, once again, Aleister Black just gets beat up every week, and for some reason he has to help Rey Mysterio's family and get the shit kicked out of him almost every week. Why? I have no idea why, but It's really questionable what they do with Aleister Black. All he's really become now is Rey Mysterio's little buddy right now, and just getting beat up almost like Humberto in a way too. So since they allegedly took his eye again, Dominic came out with a kendo stick like a bat out of hell, just shoving, just swinging it, breaking all over the place. He had some good shots out there. I'll say that too. Even Samoa Joe saying, "Rumble, young man, rumble." I hope we don't see another eye for an eye match with Dominic or whatnot, or anything, since what they just did to Aleister Black, as he's just playing second fiddle right now. But I gotta say, Dominic was throwing some hard shots out there with that kendo stick, so I gotta give him that. That was not bad at all. I actually like that. Like I say, he looked like a bat out of hell out there. Like, go back and look at it again. Good shots, but they didn't win to Mustafa Ali, as R-Truth was talking to him about the, Bobby Lashley and whatnot tonight, saying he's gonna get his baby back. It actually called him Mufasa instead of Mustafa. VIP lounge with both Lashley and Shelton Benjamin in the ring, talking about, we on Raw, and they got my guest tonight, and talking about the Hurt Business, and he's just happy to be back on Raw. We got a real champion on here, and Mustafa Ali, we can make this happen. But Mustafa Ali knew what MVP was trying to do. He trying to brainwash me like you did these two meatheads. I'm not gonna work for you. But MVP pretty much want to say, listen, man, you got a match against Lashley tonight and everything, but listen, man, you could be a champion or you could just be some chum. Thought I heard something in the water for the Predators to take up right now. So you got a choice if you were to join us, or we just gonna beat the shit out of you, basically, okay? So you can pick right now, all right? And Mustafa Ali said, no, I'm not doing this. But next thing you know, R-Truth tried to come in and attack Shelton Benjamin, pin him for that 24/7 title, but Benjamin got out of there. Truth escaped, and then we got Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali, which was not a bad match. I gotta say, Mustafa Ali took an ass kicking out there, I will say that. He sold his ass off. But then for some reason, we got the Ninjas coming out and trying to attack Shelton Benjamin to get that 24/7 title, which Shelton Benjamin and Lashley beat up the Ninjas and threw them around several times, and till Ali hit a suicide dive. But Mustafa Ali tried to get the win, going for the 450. Lashley got out of there, ended up hitting him with I think he was going for the spear and whatnot. Ali tried to get out of it, but Lashley caught him with the full Nelson for the win. So number one, some say this is a lose-lose situation. Number one, we can't have Lashley losing right now of how they built him up. And Mustafa Ali just got back, so did he really need to take an L right here after he just got back last week and had one win? So should he be losing? They could have had MVP come in and beat him up and go by DQ to give him an out and whatnot, or something, since Mustafa Ali lasted that long in there with Lashley. But no, we gotta give him an L though, just because I believe. Like I said, this was not actually a bad match, but I don't think Mustafa Ali needed an L right here after he just got back last week. Okay. Next though, we got Sasha Banks and Bayley coming out talking about Stephanie McMahon is a bully and that they're jealous of them, that they run this division, and now we got all the gold, and we're gonna take out Asuka and everything tonight, and we're gonna end this whole charade when she taps her out. Asuka came out with Kairi Sane, which immediately chased Bayley to the back, and we got Asuka and Sasha Banks again. This was a great match. I'm sure people will complain about the commercials, but I like this match. This was good, real good. I gotta say, I laughed when Sasha brought in the chair and tried to pull Eddie Guerrero right there, and the referee immediately saw her do it and said, oh, no. Well, it wasn't the chair, it was the title, but no, you ain't gonna pull no Eddie on me, and Asuka ended up kicking her in the head then. So she really tried to pull off a whole lie, cheat, and steal thing, but it did not work. Now, as the match itself, like I said, this was really good, but as Asuka was going in for the win, hitting German suplexes and whatnot, Bayley and Kairi were pretty much still brawling in the back. Asuka kept looking at the screen, but Kairi was losing, getting beat up back there, screaming for Asuka. Asuka, like, she didn't know what to do. She had to choose between the championship and her best friend, which Asuka left limping to the back. And as this match was said earlier, you could either, whoever loses, you can lose this match by count out, interference, or anything. If like any of those things DQ, you will lose the championship. So it was a count out, and Asuka lost. So Sasha Banks is now the Raw Women's Champion. Asuka came in to check on Bayley as check on Kyrie as Bayley got out of there, and Bayley and Sasha celebrated. So Bayley and Sasha have all the gold. They did give they did give Asuka out right here because she had to choose between her best friend and the championship. So it's not like Asuka just lost by pinfall or submission. She just went to help her friend over the titles. So I'm sure it'll be a rematch. Now, like I said, I'm sure people will say this won't make sense because, number one, both Bayley and Sasha are on SmackDown, and why they're going for a Raw Women's title makes no sense. Or just somebody, I know people are just annoyed with both of them being this whole holding all the gold, and that both of them are double champions, and they get a lot of TV time, and you know, which I don't think has helped the ratings in a way. I'll say that, but I personally find them funny. You know, some would say they're annoying heels, but I say, isn't that the point? They're annoying heels, so I find them hilarious sometimes when they come out there. Okay, it gives me a really good laugh, but I actually thought Asuka was gonna go over here. I didn't think they were gonna do that. And as they went to the trainer's office, then Sasha and Bayley still gloated and everything, but Asuka came out yelling. Now I don't know if this was Kyrie's last night on Raw, because I heard they were gonna have some send off to write her off TV because I think she's done with the company. I don't know if this was her last appearance, because I thought last week was, but I think maybe tonight was with her getting beat up tonight. I'm not sure, but I already heard that Kyrie is supposed to be done with this company now at this point, so I don't know if this was her last night on here. All right, I don't know. It possibly was of her getting beat up. We'll see, but I'm not really sure. I know they had a video package for Regis Philbin, who died Saturday. Rest in peace. Who wants to be a millionaire? Next was Murphy versus Humberto, which this was actually not a bad match. Now, I'm sure we all know who's going to win, but this was not a bad match. Okay, and I still like how Murphy just hit a big V-trigger when Humberto jumped off the top rope and then hit the Murphy's Law for the win. So Murphy looked like he got something going on tonight, of how he almost kind of doubted Seth a little tonight, and him getting the win over Humberto was good too. Well, Humberto loses all the time, so I think we all know what was going to happen with that. But I did like the match though, and Murphy got the win. Drew McIntyre came out for the main event then, as he talked about Randy Orton and his whole challenge for SummerSlam. And, you know, Drew went on to say that he wouldn't try to claim he's won as many titles as Orton, but he knows Orton is on fire, and he's a big threat to the title right now, to his title. was not that bad in some doses. Number one, I'd want to see the Orton and Drew. So Orton cut a great promo setting up the challenge for SummerSlam. I figured it was going to be the Profits versus Garza and Almas. I like the Seth segment to an extent. I don't like Aleister Black being second fiddle out there. But I will say Dominic Mysterio was swinging that damn kendo stick like a bat out of hell, and it looked really cool. I did like that. Sasha and match, will say, some will argue about the finish, but it does give Asuka an out. I didn't really think they were even going to go with them getting a double title thing. I actually thought Sasha and Bayley were going to turn on each other or screw it up one way or another, but they got the belt off of Asuka, surprisingly. Will Kyrie still be in the company after this? I don't know. I don't know if this was her last night or not, but I'm not really sure. Murphy and Humberto had a good match, but come on, we all know Humberto's going to lose here, people. So there you go. And it looks like I got a phone call. Yo. Still going. Had to take that phone call there, folks. Had to take that phone call. But other than my odd phone call, hopefully nobody in here. That was a business call. I think it was on mute. Yeah, that's my review of Monday Night Raw of July 27th. Okay. Tell me what you think about Monday Night Raw. Comment, subscribe. I'm out of here. I'm tired. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. It's been a long day, but I was going to get this review done one way or another. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for my Impact Wrestling review. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And check out my other video for G4 TV returning in 2021. I did a video on that on Saturday, giving my thoughts on it since I saw the trailer, reboot of the channel coming back, whatever channel will be on. Go check out that video if you can. So other than that, I'm out of here. Peace.